Here we go!
Hey, what's up guys? This is GamerBlake90, proud chief of the Blue Blurs, here to make a splash with another showcase video for this year's Sonic Hacking Contest. Yes, the choice of words in making a splash was deliberate because of the nature of the ROM hack that we're covering in this video. If you were paying attention, you might have actually seen that the Sonic 1 title screen was underwater for like the briefest of seconds. And if you did see that, you might be asking, wait a minute, what's going on here? I don't think it's typical for the title screen in any Sonic game to be underwater, so what is this? Well, you're right, it's not typical at all for that to happen. But for what this ROM hack is about, you might call it a foreshadowing of what is to come. But rather than talk about it, I think it would be much better to show you. So let's get into Marble Zone Act 1. And it should come up in like a few seconds, and yep, there it is. Just like that, the entire stage is underwater. Oh, the horror. So what do you think happens when you take the worst of the Marble Zone and you combine it with the worst of the Labyrinth Zone? You get a recipe for disaster is what happens. Ow! I'm not trying to get Sonic cooked like that, my bad. This ROM hack is called Sonic 1 Flash Flooded, and now that you know the name, it should explain everything for you. But if you would like a more detailed breakdown on how this ROM hack functions, well, that's what I'm here for, so check it out. As you are playing through the game, the stage will be thrown underwater at random intervals, and what's also random is how long the water effect lasts before it goes away. Sometimes it will last for like 1 to 2 seconds, and at other times it will last for much longer than that, like right now. So knowing this, you might be concerned about being able to restock your oxygen if you're playing any stage that isn't the Labyrinth Zone, because if you know your Sonic 1, you know that apart from Scrap Brain Act 3, the Labyrinth Zone is the only place where you will find any air bubbles. Fortunately, the maker of this hack was quite generous. You will have seen a bit ago that there was an item box with the image of goggles on the front. Those are the stand-in for the bubble generators on the Labyrinth Zone. You cannot destroy them, which is good. What you want to do is stand on top of them instead, and if you do, your oxygen supply will be replenished right away. Check it out. Whenever you stand on one, you will hear Sonic making a sound effect as if he were picking up an air bubble. That means that you are good to go as far as your oxygen supply is concerned. Thank goodness you can't break them, right? Because if you could, you'd be cutting back on your potential lifelines for stages like this, and you absolutely do not want that. Least of all for a slow-paced stage like the Marble Zone. Thank goodness. And another nice thing about the goggle item boxes is that they are typically placed at locations where you'll already be familiar with from Sonic 1. You know, like familiar location for item boxes where you were already finding them before. For example, that checkpoint we passed by a bit ago, there was typically a shield to the left of it, but now there is a goggle item box like this one right here. And another example is, there was typically a ring box here, but that's been replaced by the goggles. So, what that means is, you won't have to go too far out of your way to find the goggle boxes and keep your oxygen supply stocked, which is great. Really helps out with a ROM hack like this. Many of you might have been concerned if it was going to be super hard to deal with because of how terrifying it can be to stay underwater for too long because of the Sonic 1 drowning music and of course the threat of dying. But luckily, the maker of this ROM hack has taken steps to make this one quite reasonable to play, and I applaud them for that. By the way, the special stages have gotten a makeover also. Sometimes people making ROM hacks will go back and forth between leaving the special stages alone or making changes to them. And in this case, there have been quite a number of changes. For one, you get thrown into a look-alike of the Sonic 1 special stages, but you see this line of text telling you how many rings you need to get, so sort of like the Sonic 2 special stages, but rather than dealing with half-pipes, you play it in the style of Sonic 1. You break these blocks, and then you go on a free fall through these sections where you are required to pick up the specified number of rings. I have some advice for you. Even once you even once you hit the required amount, you better keep picking them up anyway, because believe it or not, these can be quite challenging. There have been a noticeable number of changes to the physics of these special stages. Like for one, Sonic doesn't fall nearly as fast, but as the stage goes on for longer and longer, he will gradually pick up on his fall speed. And that can make it difficult to pick up large clusters of rings. If you fail to pick up enough of them in the special stage, the stage will be rotated to guide you towards an exit sphere. So yeah, you definitely don't want to mess up. Okay, me focus on not messing up. There we go! Man, I was really worried. I've actually flubbed on the first stage quite often, believe it or not. Usually it's the easiest, but with how these stages work, nuh-uh, you're in for quite a ride. But they feel worth it to me. Because the cool thing about these special stages is that for one, they have the color palettes from the good future version of Title Tempest, complete with a Genesis remix as well. And as someone who's an absolute sucker for Sonic CD, that gets a huge thumbs up from me. That is some awesome stuff right there. Many thanks to TheInvisibleSun, the maker of this hack, for choosing the Title Tempest theme for the special stages. Marble Zone Act 2 might be looking different to you right now, does it? That's because it is different. For one, you don't usually have this bed of lava to go across when the act kicks off, do you? But that's different now. But the neat thing about the lava here at Marble is that when it's underwater, the lava cools down to the point where it will not actually hurt you, so you can walk across it without fear. Pretty cool, right? But be careful because it can still spit out fireballs, so you need to be wary of that. Kind of funny that the water can cool down the lava enough where it won't hurt you, but it can't do the same to the fireballs. I don't know if that's an oversight or if it was meant to be there for the purpose of adding to the challenge, but either way, something to keep in mind. Also, right before the stage is about to go underwater, you should see a rainfall effect. The second you take notice of that, get yourself ready for what's about to happen. Usually it's noticeable enough, but you won't really miss it. And you might catch flickers of it happening while you're already underwater, but it's a lot harder to notice than when you're above water. It should come up any second again now, so you should see it, and there it is. So, you'll know when it's about to happen and when it won't, even if it is largely random, so that's good at least. Oh crap. Oh yeah, one other thing I forgot to mention is that when the stage is flooded, the behaviors of the Badniks are madly changed up. For one, those bats right there, they fell all the way off the screen at the bottom while we were flooded, whereas normally they come swooping down trying to get the drop on you. Another example would be the Buzz Bombers. When you are underwater, they will start machine gunning their projectiles at you, and they'll be sticking around for quite a while, at least until the water effect goes away. Whereas normally they'd be like, okay, I'll just drop this ball and then leave. Bye! And great. That Caterpillar would choose now all times to be annoying. Oh man, I'm about to get bopped. Oh, look at this. Another new section that normally isn't here. Oh, wait a minute, it's blocked off. Never mind, we are going this way after all. But I think you could already see the reason as to why I chose the Marble Zone for the showcase. I played through Green Hill before recording this, and I didn't see any substantial changes to its layout, but then I came to the Marble Zone, and it was a completely different story, which is the reason why I went with this stage. So, hopefully you're all enjoying these changes. Now let's see. Obviously, it can make sections like this very unnerving to deal with because you always have to worry about being crushed by these guys. Well, sometimes crushed and sometimes just poked. They'll switch between the two weirdly, so I really don't know why. But that was always a thing with the original Sonic 1, is nothing to do with the ROM hack. So we have passed Act 2, and now we're going to be going to Act 3 of the Marble Zone. And while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to flip in a showcase of the final zone as well, because I believe this gimmick applies to the final boss also. And I want to see how the final boss works when you have a threat of water to deal with. Really some food for thought. By the way, the more I think about it, the more I think that this ROM hack might be a potential reference to Zelda The Wind Waker. Because think about it, Sonic has crossed over with Zelda a fairly decent number of times by now. For one, there's the Smash Bros. Series, and then there's Sonic Lost World, which has Zelda-themed DLC. I believe it mainly referenced Skyward Sword at the time. So with this ROM hack, it would be referencing the Wind Waker if my suspicions are correct. And if you don't get the reference, the main premise of Wind Waker's storyline revolved around Hyrule being entirely underwater except for its mountaintops, which basically became islands instead. It was quite a setting for a game whose history was partly based on that of Ocarina of Time, which I was a huge sucker for at the time, for sequels to Ocarina of Time, which is— oh wait, boy! If this water effect don't end right now— oh, never mind, thank goodness. I forgot something I said earlier, that these things can be found at locations where you're already familiar with when finding item boxes, so you don't have to go out of your way for them. And that means you don't have that much cause for concern about drowning. Whew, thank goodness. When you remember your own advice, it really helps. But yeah, I'm a huge sucker for sequels to Ocarina of Time. It's the biggest reason why I love games like Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess so much, and obviously I named the Wind Waker. Actually, out of all the Zelda titles, I haven't finished Breath of the Wild yet, and I really need to, seeing as the sequel for it's coming out. But right now, my absolute favorite Zelda game would be Twilight Princess. And you want to know why? Well, I might raise that conversation another time, but for now, let's take care of this guy. Now, when dealing the Green Hill boss, one strategy you could use was standing on the goggle item box in the middle, and then jumping at the boss over and over while taking care to avoid the wrecking ball. But TheInvisibleSun was like, nah, you think you can cheat this boss using my own contributions? You better think again, boy. Because fireballs will be covering that goggle box right in the middle. So if you want to replenish your oxygen supply or use it as a stepping stone to attack Eggman, you better time it very carefully, lest you get cooked. And yes, the threat of flooding applies to boss battles as well, but as you can see, we already have insurance for that. So that should be everything you need to know about Sonic 1 Flash Flooded, special stages, and standard gameplay. And now that we've taken care of all 3 acts of the Marble Zone, we should get to the final zone right now, shouldn't we? So, let's do that. I'll be right back. Another thing I failed to mention at the start of the video is that the title screen will always lead you to a stage select when you start the game. So you can choose to play the entire game underwater starting from Green Hill Zone, or you can start from any stage that you would like. It's entirely up to you. And frankly, I don't think I want to test my luck by going to Labyrinth Zone at 1 because it's already underwater as it is. When you throw in this water gimmick from Sonic 1 Flash Flooded, I think it becomes a total nightmare. But I'll let y'all figure that out for yourself. Instead, we're going to be going to the final zone. And yes, that's my phone that keeps going off if you are in fact hearing it. With all these filters I have in place, you'd think I would have cut back on that, but I guess not. Then again, my mic is much more sensitive than your typical mic, so I had to find ways to work around that. Oh boy. The water physics are definitely going to make it harder to avoid these pistons, as I think they're called. P-I-S-T-O-N if you don't know the spelling. And yeah, they lead to instant death if you aren't careful. And what with you being slowed down underwater, you better hope that you aren't already caught under them when they start moving. Or it gets worse for you. Okay, let's see. Do I have a spin dash? Crap, no I don't. So we just have our moveset in Sonic 1, which means no spin dash. Man! But at least we have the goggle box there. Goggle item box. Goggle box sounds weird to say. Or is it just me? Eggman? I don't like it, but you're hiding over there. Come out and fight like a man. Like an Eggman. Come on now. I don't like this hiding that you're doing right now. You're camping worse than I do in Smash Ultimate. Eggman, are you taking notes from me? Well, you might already be drawing the conclusion that this boss fight is going to be a pain, so all I can tell you is good luck. But I plan to end this showcase on a high note, so let's see if... Oh man, that was almost it for us, like by a millimeter. That was crazy. Okay, there we go. Finally we landed another hit after like, what, a minute? Lordy! But typically, what I do with boss is stay to the right, wait for him to show up in the 3rd or 4th pistons right here, and then go on the attack. I don't like to risk going to the left and potentially getting caught. Because unlike, you know, the boss in Metallic Madness at 1 for Sonic Mania, the patterns these guys abide by are always random, so you never can tell where Eggman will end up. So usually I like to take a safe approach, even if it does take longer than one would prefer to get the boss over with. Well, crap! My worst fear just became a reality. You know what? I'm not gonna take that blow to my pride. Nuh-uh, Eggman. I'm not letting you get one up on me in one of my own videos. Nuh-uh-uh-uh. Ah! What just happened? What was that? What was that? I need an adult to explain to me what just happened right now. Yo! I am so confused, but you know what? We take those. I'm glad I didn't die. I've only got 2 lives, so I can't afford to die too often. And usually I don't die on this boss. Well, first time for everything, I guess. But we seem to be doing a bit better. I just need to be careful. Go over here. There he is. Catchy final boss music, huh? I kinda like it. Okay, not again, not again, not again. Not again. Yeah, I definitely don't enjoy this boss when it's underwater, nuh-uh. We already had to suffer in the labyrinth zone. I'd rather not make it any worse. Even if the approach to this hack was quite reasonable, which I really applaud, it was very well thought out. I absolutely love that. And for that reason, even if you are among those players that don't like water in Sonic games, I think you should give this ROM hack a chance. You might like it, you might not. You're better off being the judge. Although I would like to ask, IGN, is this enough water for you? If you didn't know, there's sort of a running joke about IGN commenting on how there isn't enough water in a Sonic game. I don't know if it's true or not, but knowing IGN's review of Unleashed, it could very well be true, but I'm not going to claim it's true if I don't know all the facts behind it. It's just a running joke. Get it? Sonic? Running? Alright, this video's over. Goodbye, people. And wait a minute, even the ending screen is underwater! Boy, Sonic, you better not drown before the credits start playing! Is the water gonna go away at all? No way! Is he going to drown in the end screen? We might have an... Oh god, come on! This hack is hilarious. Yeah, y'all need to download this and play it. It's quite an experience. Anyway, guys, this was my showcase of Sonic 1 Flash Flooded. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've been enjoying the Sonic hacking contest all week. I didn't quite manage to get a video up every week, but I'd say 4 videos is a remarkable sign of progress in comparison to my previous attempts to showcase content from previous Sage and Sonic hacking contests in the past. Still, oh wait, actually, unless you count this video, then that makes it 5 videos. I'd have said 4 before this one went up, but yeah, still a step up the ladder. But yeah, that is it for my video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, drop those likes and comments down below. And if you want to keep up my Sonic content, because there's gonna be lots of it on this channel, hit that sub button and ring that bell. We are very close to 1,000 subs, and I'm gonna be super excited when we hit that mark. Y'all are awesome, and I thank you for supporting my content from start to finish. I'll see you when we get to the finish line, and when I make my next video, which hopefully will be soon. Until then, I'll see you next time. Peace out, take care, and don't forget, Blue Blurs for life. Also, oh no, Eggman with a scary juggling act. Whatever will I do? There's always been a comical bad ending for a Sonic game. Although, Sega does step it up in that department in future titles, but we'll not talk about that. Anyway, peace out, take care.